Howdy, y'all. Today we're going to be making some starch because I've got a new quilt to get started and I'm out of starch. So we're going to make Mama's Magic Fabric Conditioner today. So let me bring you down to the table and let's get started. What you're going to need is a gallon jug to put your starch in, a gallon of filtered water, your starch, which is Simply Starch. I got it off of Amazon. If you want your starch scented, you'll need some Downy scent beads. My favorite scent is lavender, so that's what I'm using, but it comes in a multiple of different scents, so whichever scent you like the best, go ahead and pick some of that up. And then you'll need about 2 cups of very hot water to dissolve your scent beads in. So that's where we're going to start. I take a capful and dissolve it in the water. Now these, I believe, are little scented wax beads. I've been using this mixture for quite a while now, and it does an excellent job. I just use a chopstick to stir up and let this dissolve while I do the rest of what I'm doing. Wish you could smell it right now. It smells awesome. Okay, then I'm going to cover that up so that it stays hot while I mix the rest of it. I'm going to pour about 3/4 of water into this jug. To get started. Once I pour the hot water in, I'll fill the jug up the rest of the way. Looks like I put about a half a gallon in. That'll be enough to get the starch going. Got to dry my funnel now. Okay, I open up my starch, and today I'm mixing a heavy starch because I'm getting ready to start a Quilts of Valor quilt using one of my own patterns. Handmade by Ying with Donna and Donnell Stitchery. the Double D's, are hosting a Quilts of Valor quilt-along, and we are to send a quilt top to Donna before March 1st so that she can take care of it to get it ready to send on to the chapter that she's supporting. I make lots of Quilts of Valor quilts for different organizations that I support, but I also support whoever's needing them. So it's always my honor and privilege to donate to veterans. My father was a veteran, my brother was a veteran, and somebody in my family has served in every war since the Revolutionary War. So I'm a proud military person, supporter. Anyway, the instructions say you can use this directly in your washing machine if you want to take care of a bunch of fabric all at once. Um, for blocking doilies and things like that, you make a paste, or for spray starch. So I'm using the spray starch instructions. It says add 1 tablespoon of simply starch to 16 ounces of water. So I would need 4 to 5 tablespoons, but I want a stiff starch this time, so I'm going to use 6 tablespoons. Usually I just use 4 tablespoons, but today I'm going to use 6, and this is a teaspoon, so I need 18 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, little spoon, it won't reach to the bottom of the bag. My hand's too big to get in the bag. Okay, some of those were more than a teaspoon. Got enough for about 1 more batch, so I'm going to order some so I don't run out. Okay. Let's stir this up 1 more time. It is thoroughly dissolved. This jar is hot, so okay, got to stand up to do the rest because I can't see in the jar sitting down. I can hear Joe saying, dead air, dead air. Okay, now we're going to stir this up to mix the starch in with the rest of everything. I usually try to mix this 24 hours in advance, but I don't have that luxury today because this is all I have left. Okay, water on. Okay. I use, where are you? I use this solution in my, what's it called? Easy Press pen. I haven't used the stiffer solution. I've got a little bit of the thinner solution, the regular starch. That I have left for this because I'm getting ready to do my cotton cuts PMQ and I need it for that. Stay tuned for that. I'm going to do the first 5 clues in time lapse, and then when I get the final 5 clues, I'll do those in a time lapse. So I have plans, and I think I'll take you along with me as I make this Quilts of Valor quilt and give you the pattern as a free pattern. So stay tuned for that. So hope you enjoyed watching me make a mess, and I'm sure you'll see me using it from time to time. So be blessed, less stressed, and pet some fabric today. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Howdy again. I'm back so soon. I decided I'd take you along while I iron one of the pieces of fabric that I'm going to use so you can see how the starch performs. Down here, can you see it? Yeah. I have a bunch of scraps and some fabric that I've purchased and some fabric that has been donated. And this is going to be a scrappy quilt, and it's going to use 2.5-inch strips. none longer than 6.5 inches, maybe some 8-inch ones. So I'm going to, I bought this from Donnell, so I'm going to go ahead and starch it. I know for sure I'm going to be using this in the quilt, and this I think I got from Soft Squares, and so I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the quilt. And then I've got various different whites and reds and um, just scraps. So whatever I end up using is whatever's going to be in there. So stay tuned, because we will probably be starting that within a day or so. So let's get started. If you have any patriotic fabric scraps that are anywhere from a jelly roll strip up to yardage, and you don't have any use for it, I'd be happy to put it into a Quilts of Valor quilt and pass it on to a honored veteran. So anyway, let's get started with, we'll start on these smaller pieces first. Looky here, you almost hate to use it. It was Joanne's fabric. And this may have been used as a backing. I don't know what Donnell used it for. I used some of this in the friendship quilt that I made with Teresa Louise's pattern. And I've used some of it in other quilts, so it's getting used. I guess I should turn the steam off. What I do is starch my fabric before I cut it, and then when I make my block and press it, I use the steam, and that reactivates the starch. So this is a nice stiff piece of fabric now, and the reason I like to starch my fabric, besides it holding its shape, especially on bias pieces, which this quilt I'm getting ready to do won't have bias, but it helps to keep it from raveling as badly. I forgot to put my iron back on the heater. So I have this pattern that I'm making, then I have another one that's about half done, If I get them both done before March 1st, I'll send them both to Donna. If not, one of them will go to the chapter that I support. The one I do is a retirement home for veterans, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the same size as Quilts of Valor quilts because some of them are wheelchair quilts. So I find out what the need is at the particular time, and then I sew accordingly. Okay, you don't need to watch me do all this fabric. I just wanted to show you that it does a nice job. If I wanted it stiffer, I could do a second pressing, but mainly I wanted to test this batch and make sure it's stiff enough. If it wasn't stiff enough, I could add more starch, or if I thought it was too stiff, I could add more water. So it's the one bad thing about cordless irons, you got to heat them up. I'm also doing a year-long quilt along with Tammy at the Siberian Wind, and it's a mystery quilt, but I'm doing mine in patriotic colors, so I sent her pictures of the fabric that I'm going to use to make sure that it would fit with the pattern she has designed, since I haven't seen it, and she said it would, so I'm excited to get started on that. I've got one more piece of fabric on its way, and when it should be here this coming week, so when it gets here I'll also have that, so I'll be working on several quilts of valor at the same time. So anyway, again, be blessed, less stressed, and be sure to pet some fabric today. And if you mix some starch, you can pet your fabric while you're ironing it. Yeah, that second pressing is how I want it. So I think I will probably add a little more starch to the mixture instead of spraying it twice. I'll just make the starch a little bit thicker. I'll probably add a couple more tablespoons to it. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye.